like this. I never really spent no time like this. Your second time at the crib knowing I might not hit. You said what I look like my bitch. Yeah. Looking in your eyes, shit is dangerous. The pussy wet, I call it angel dust. I done put so many diamond chains on you, they get tangled up. I never felt like this.
So whatever happens next, boys.
Let's go. Nigga calling, but he can't do much. Cause you with the kid now,
made booed up.
And all you gotta do is call and watch that Ray pull up under the stars since they throwing all the shade on us.
Facts. Let's go.
Facts, baby. What's up? What's up, gang? Welcome back to Fuck It Up Fridays. We're back with another episode, another great episode in store. But first, let me explain a little something here. You're probably looking at my neck, right? You're like, oh shit, his neck looks a little different, and it's not because it's got hickeys on it. I ain't like that, but. I've got that new Josh Bragg jewellery pendant. Let the light in.
Josh Bragg
is
my
wicked.
Guy right here.
Wicked.
Right here. Welcome.
Check him out on Instagram at Josh Bragg Jewellery. New to the game and absolutely killing it. Handcrafted pieces. I've seen firsthand the work that has gone into these pieces. And let me tell you one thing.
Surely you can get out.
It's the best.
Go closer
Here,
to the
let
camera.
me show you.
Show them. Get right in there. Give him a kiss.
But just check it out on Instagram if you want.
100%.
Yeah,
We'll put the Insta in the link.
Wow, man. It's great to be back. But first, obviously, we've got our guy, Josh Bragg here. It's been a few weeks trying to get him on. Every time we ask him, he's
like fucking Bigfoot, eh?
100%.
On film.
Every time we ask him, he's like, I haven't got my hair cut. So he's got a fresh fade today, so he's ready to roll. So it's great to have you on, my guy. And obviously, for us and me and the bro, it's been something that we like to start with the people around us, the people that we spend a lot of time with. So obviously you're one of those guys, and obviously you've had a great impact on our lives as well. So introduce yourself, man, what you do, where you're from. Give us a little insight to who you are.
Oh, man. But I'll start first. Thanks for having me on.
100%.
Boys.
Welcome, boy.
It's something different for me, man. I don't normally do this sort of thing. I'm out in the dungeon normally, like just working and doing all that shit. But currently, just making jewelry, man. That's what I'm up to right now. Just started like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So it's something new, just getting cranky.
What took you down that road, bro?
What took me down that road?
Because that sort of came out of nowhere. Eh? We'll get into, obviously, what you were doing before it. But, just tell the listeners, obviously, we started with the plug. So what's the passion behind it?
Well, it was just come from, I don't know, I just felt an urge to do something creative.
Yeah.
I was doing, obviously, before that, something completely different.
Yeah.
You know, I've been selling cars for, like, my adult life for, like, what was it, 6-7 years?
6 years, yeah.
Came over here to do that. And then thought I'd got to the top, got to selling fucking Porsches and all that shit. Yeah. And then, I don't know, I just didn't feel fulfilled doing it anymore. Yeah. And, just went for something random, man. Yeah. It was like a call to adventure sort of thing. Like are you going to do it? Like pick up your balls and go do something
100%.
different. Yeah.
That's it. Take a risk, man.
100%.
Without the risk, no reward. But so is it fulfilling that, that itch, yeah.
Big time, man.
What is it about it that really is inspiring you and making you feel so creative in that space?
Like, is it the process or is it the finished product?
Nah, it's not the product. No? It's definitely the process for sure. Like I'm just learning now to enjoy the process. Yeah. As opposed to the final product. Obviously, the final product is shiny and fucking pretty and all that sort of
right
thing.
now, it's shiny, baby. yeah. Normally, I'm a 7. I'm a 10 right now.
Yeah.
You're a fucking 11, boy.
Yeah, 11.
Yeah. But no, just really enjoying the process and just stretching a different part of my brain.
This fucking bird wants to be on the podcast. Can you shut up out there? God damn. So that obviously keeps you busy. That's keeping you busy. But let's go back. Let's start right back. So obviously we're all Hawke's Bay boys. You two are from Dannyvert. Tell us your
baby, what's up?
Tell us your recollection of I guess home for you
growing up.
Far out, man. I'm sure a few of the listeners are probably from Dannyvert as well, or from New Zealand at least. They would have driven through Dannyburg. They know what the vibe is, you know.
It's not much of a vibe, eh?
No, it's not much, man. Nah, you blink and you miss it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
go through Denver, come out with KFC.
Yeah.
Let's go.
but it's exactly. But I mean, it's interesting to see how looking back, that's definitely shaped the years gone by. Like
What
growing
did that
up.
teach you coming from a small town?
Yeah, what was it like for you? Because for me, it's like there wasn't much there, but it was like the perfect thing for being someone from that place was that it's so small and the people are so amazing that you always feel so proud to be from such a small town where it's so connected.
Yeah.
Was it similar for you, or was it?
For sure, and like I'm actually looking back on it now, super stoked to come from a place like that because it does, man. It teaches you things
100%.
like I don't know, humility and like
You have to make your own fun too. There's not much there, so you can
or trouble.
Yeah,
You got to make your own way out too,
Yeah.
boys. Like, and that's what you guys have obviously done. So,
Yeah, well, it's
obviously-
common sense to get the fuck out of there.
So from there, you went. You came up to Hawke's Bay, and what was that like for you?
Well, that was a big move, man. That was like big city, like traffic lights.
it was
Oh
Like-
shit!
Yeah, traffic lights, fucking all that shit. And
Yeah.
you know what the feeling was like when you
Yeah.
get out of that small town, you go to somewhere a bit more pumping.
Yeah.
You think you've made it, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, man, I'm out here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And I don't know. And then you just sort of, I don't know, just grew out of that as well. Or
Yeah.
not grew out, but like just grew in a different way.
yeah.
What made you get into cars? Like, how did that come about?
Desperation, man. I needed a fucking job. Yeah. Yeah. Like, if I'm going to be
trade
totally
takes
honest.
anyone, eh?
Yeah. And I didn't start selling cars. Like, you guys know the story. I
Yeah.
started fucking cleaning them,
yeah.
you know?
Started from the bottom, baby.
100.
Yeah,
Started
yeah.
from the bottom.
Yeah. And I don't know. But that definitely taught me heaps, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's the hard work, and that's what I was going to say. It's like, you know, coming from a small town and coming from these places, like, that's the one thing we learnt over people who had just got
You
it.
just never take things for
like,
granted, bro,
fuck
because
no.
you know how important it is
Yeah.
to work towards something. Otherwise, you end up doing nothing.
It's an interesting concept to think about. Like, you know, some people are they just have everything, bro. Like, they don't know what it's like to go out and try and get it. But it's
it.
like, imagine, like, you know, you're just rich. Like, you know,
Bro,
you just have
that
everything.
sucks,
like,
bro.
I think about that all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it's just
interesting. We could
lucky
probably touch
dip.
on this in a minute because you obviously spent time with someone that did have that. But how was the process of becoming good at selling cars for you? Like, how did you go about it? Because obviously you said it was out of desperation, but when did it come a place of like, fuck, I'm really good at the process of being able to provide a service for someone?
Bro, I was, to be honest, I was never good at the process side of things. I was just good at like
talking to people.
talking. Like, or just getting down onto like a normal level with people. You know, they're used to a certain type of person when they go in and buy a car. You know, so if you have like a different sort of energy, they really were receptive to that, and I think that's where success in that field came from.
Yeah, that's with any field, you know, like you can have all the different brands, all the different trends, and, you know, you just got to be unique and something that they've never seen before. And then, you know, you come with the goods, and, you know, if you're half smart, you can capitalize on it, which is obviously what you did. So then you ended up with a house.
Yeah,
How the hell did that happen?
But that was just, you know, working away, and I was just working for money's sake. What the fuck am I doing? Like, I don't know. I didn't really have an exit plan. Like, I was sort of thinking in the back of my head, if I stay here selling cars, I'm going to end up like one of the sales managers, you know, like a bit fucking overweight, a bit fucking grumpy and all that stuff. And I was like, hang on.
Nowhere.
yeah. And I was just like, nah, we need an exit plan.
100.
Like, and I was presented an opportunity to buy a property off my mum and dad.
Yeah.
So that was a bonus. They sold it to me like what they paid for it. Did some renos, and I sold it straight away.
Yeah.
You know, because I wanted to get out. Like, that was my ticket out.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and you know, you get those. I got heaps of people saying to me, "Don't sell it; it's an investment. You need to hang on to it." Yeah, I know. Like, I understand that side of
And
things.
those
like
people are still there with their investment.
Right, they're still there, and they got a baby and all that shit. Like that's cool for you, but I just didn't want that.
You didn't want that?
And then that sort of got me thinking, like, the only thing that kept me there selling cars is because I needed the money, but now I didn't need the money. Because I have money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
when you were going through the process of selling the house, because obviously when you bought that house, your mindset was to I'm selling this house so I can get some money. Was it straight away your thoughts was like once I sell the house that I'm just going to move and change my like career and stuff like that, or was it just I just need the money in the bank so I can have that freedom to do whatever I want now?
Did you even think about that? Like, did that even become a thing? Because like you said, you know, once you had the money, it didn't matter anymore. Did that even cross?
Nah, I had no plan, man. Like, and that was half the fun. Like, I moved over with Mason, and he had no plan as well. So we're like, fuck. For once, let's just go fucking have some fun because you know what it's like when you're selling cars. We're grinding for like, I don't know, 6 days a week, like for like 3 years, 4 years straight. And I was like, bro, I need to have some fun. I haven't had fun in 4 years.
Yeah,
crazy.
So that's what we did when we come over here. Like we fucking had fun.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
So did you come straight from Hawke's Bay to here, or what was that journey like?
So you've been traveling for a little bit, right? You went to Bali and stuff.
Yeah, so we landed here and we just messed around in Byron Bay for a while, me and Mason, for a few weeks, and then we met up with one of our friends in Bali, Taylor. Yeah. And then after that, it was from there, met someone in Sydney, stayed in Sydney for a bit. And then went to Vegas. Like I was just all over the place, man. Just running around being a dickhead, you know. Like I bought a flash car. I was cruising, like thought I was living the dream. It was funny,
man. That was a
funny
fucking weapon.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, that was pretty fun. It was fun.
100%.
So anyway, so you go on your holiday, you sort of was that just something that you felt you needed to get out of your system, like that travel? Because like a lot of people say when you're stuck or you feel like life is just a little bit like,
stagnant.
Go traveling and
because it gives you perspective, bro.
Yeah. So is that what happened for you? So how were you when you came back from the big, I guess, OE?
Oh, you're talking about South America?
Well, no, not yet. But like,
before then,
from Vegas.
Like Vegas.
Oh man, that was just I was just being a dickhead. Yeah.
Okay.
Like we're just like fucking
just
around.
trying to have as much fun as you can.
Yeah. There was no like ulterior motive to that. Like I was not trying to like soul search or anything like that. Like we were just having fun.
So then you came back and you were like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna knuckle down."
Yeah, because it comes and goes in waves, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like we should have. We know this by now. You know, like it's like.
High energy, very low energy.
Definitely.
Yeah, like want to pull back, want to go in full steam, like all that sort of stuff. But yeah, came back from all the travels and I was like, okay, cool, that was fun, but I better get back to work. And I was like, by default, almost went back to selling cars.
Yeah,
you know, because that's what
Motor Trade will always take you back, right?
Yeah, I know. But it was like I didn't really want to, but I felt that I don't know. I just felt that pull, like that sort of societal pressure.
Because that's what I was going to say.
People.
Is there like a feeling in your gut going, "Fuck, I haven't worked in like a month, 2 months." Like, you know,
bro, it was longer than that. It was like 8 months or 9 months.
Yeah, but like, you know, like after that, like for me, even after like 3 weeks or something like that, you know, I would probably feel like, oh fuck, I haven't worked. Like, what have I been doing in my life? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's the thing. It was a real interesting time looking back on it now, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I was just having so much fun. I wasn't even thinking about it. No consequences, man. Yeah. Like, just actually, like, just living as
you
if
literally
it
had
didn't
nothing
matter.
tied to you either. So that was, I guess, the best thing about it is that you really just got to let loose and just really feel what freedom felt like. Yeah. So when you were having that freedom, were you like, this is a place that I want to get back to? Or was it just like, I need this freedom just to allow myself to just not be so strict in a certain routine and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It also made me realize that total freedom, you know, what I had is not actually the goal. Yeah. Because it kind of does fuck with your head. Yeah. Like you want to have something to think about. You want to have something to work towards. Yeah.
Purpose.
Yeah, 100%. Because you're totally lacking purpose. You're waking up and you're getting like,
what do I do now?
Yeah, 100%. Like you can go to the gym. There's fucking an hour and all that stuff, or do whatever. But then you sort of like, well, now what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what was, because that's probably, I guess, the basis of all our questions. What was your mindset? Like, because obviously your mindset is totally different now. When did that shift occur where you would start, I guess, looking back on things and reflecting? Because from what I'm getting, you know, at this point in your life that we were just talking about, you weren't actually like reflecting. You weren't thinking about it. You were just sort of like, just go, you know, have fun.
I don't even think I was capable of thinking like that.
That's what
then.
I mean.
You know, I just wasn't there mentally or like whatever you want to say. If you want to say
Yeah.
spiritually, say that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, I just wasn't there. I didn't even think like that.
So okay, so then you got the job at Porsche. You sold some cars. You were fucking great at it. And then what? I guess it prompts you to pack that in.
Yeah, what was
Yeah.
the lead up to that? Because
Well,
obviously I was
it's a
around
funny
you
story.
at that point, and
Yeah.
it was really interesting watching you. Is that you had this really big push and pull of like this is like the top of the game, but at the same time, I'm like, do I don't really give a fuck about that? So like, tell us about that. What the experience was like. Obviously, working at a very high end car dealership, what that was like, and that day when you quit your job, because it was a fucking funny day, man.
Well,
When you came home.
first explain to us, because for me personally, like I think that it's actually more enjoyable working at, say, somewhere like where we were working in New Zealand rather than working at a Prestige. That's me personally. What's your take on that?
100%.
It's fuck.
Because you're
it's
dealing
not
with the
cut it-
salt of the earth, man.
Exactly.
You're dealing with nice people. Like
It's not cut. It's not what it's cut out to be. Like selling BMWs and Audis and
No.
Porsches and shit. Like
Bro,
it's
I was literally a glorified waiter. Like stand there, hands behind your back. Yes, sir. No, sir.
people
Can you
know
get
what
me
they're coming
sparkling
in
water?
for. At that level, people already know
What they want.
You just need to be the one to provide
Yeah.
them for them. They come.
Yeah.
They're not. No one's walking into a Porsche dealership with $10 in their pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
They've got $100,000 at least. Ready to blow. So
Yeah,
But
I'm not trying to bag on the sort of people that were in there and that sort of thing, but they just I don't know, they just weren't my people.
Yeah.
Like I found it where I'd come from, I could really gel with the
them, yeah.
people
Yeah.
because they were just
Very down to earth.
normal dudes,
Exactly.
and I was like propelled into that life of I guess luxury and stuff, and I'd never been in it, and I was like, shit, man, I don't know if I actually want to be
and
in
after
here.
a while,
Yeah.
they just become cars, don't they?
The novelty wears off.
Yeah,
real quick,
100%. Once you're sitting in them and you deal with them, you just look at them like, oh yeah, well, it's just
I got to
a
drive
fucking-
here in a car.
literally.
Doesn't matter, man. Like
Yeah.
I was like, if you're going to be a good salesperson, you need to believe in what you're selling.
Yeah.
You know? And I reckon they're cool cars and all
Yeah.
that thing, but I just don't really care. Like I
Yeah.
just didn't care.
Yeah.
There's no
Like,
passion
and
there.
Nah, there was no passion, and that sort of transpired into my energy I was putting towards the job.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing, and it was pretty evident. And then the funny story was when I was in there one day, I was like, fuck, man. I was talking to one of the other salespeople, and I was like, I'd rather be out farming tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that, yeah.
Like, that's literally what I said,
Yeah.
and that's what I was saying. I was like, man, I'd honestly rather be doing something random.
Yeah.
I'd be digging in the dirt. And the dealer principal heard it. He heard me
Straight
say
up.
that.
How did that happen?
Well, because he was just around the corner, and I was being an idiot talking out loud.
Oh,
and
my
then he
guy.
calls me into the office, and he's like, man, if you don't want to be here, don't. And I was like, okay, sweet.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, thanks.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened. It was
Yeah, I remember you coming home that day.
best day of my life. Not
Yeah.
best day of my life, but it was happy,
Relief.
man.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
relieved. I got back and I sat on my bed and I was like, thank God, now I don't have to try to do
Yeah.
that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's good because even at that point in your
Nobody,
life,
not many people get to that point where
Yeah.
they're just like, yeah, no, I'm done. Like,
yeah,
sweet.
100%. And especially when I'm one of those people where if someone tries to push you, it's like, okay, well, fuck, all right, I'll go. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and then obviously, you spent. Then I think that's when I came over.
I think
Pretty
so.
much after that, yeah. So we
Well, you've been
spent.
traveling and stuff for a bit.
Yeah, well, after that, obviously, because I was like back in limbo again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Here
Okay,
we go
cool. I
again.
know I don't want to go that way. I don't
Yeah.
want to climb the corporate ladder, man. Fuck
Yeah.
that. And then I was like, shit, what other way am I going to go? Am I just going to go be a monk up in the fucking hills or something?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like that, right? You
Yeah.
either climb that mountain or you become a monk. You denounce everything and be like, that's just not what I
Right,
want.
and
I'll
I
just go.
honestly felt a strong pull to do that, just withdraw from society
Yeah.
completely,
Where'd that come from?
But straight existential crisis mode,
Yeah.
like you're
Yeah.
feeling like, oh shit, what am I going to
100%.
do? Like, because, and like whether it's true or not, you feel like you've got heaps of eyes on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People that are looking at you go,
Watching
oh,
you.
he's got a good job and
Yeah.
he just walked away
100%.
from it and all
Yep.
that stuff.
It's real weird, bro, because coming from a small town, all of us is from a small town, there's people that do and I know this from people talk, people are still
100%.
talking about us and going oh, what are they doing? And they it's real interesting, when people, I guess, have nothing nothing better in a sense, but it's like I couldn't fathom.
Can't help but think about it, right?
Yeah,
when you make every decision.
I couldn't fathom be focused on someone else's life and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So for me, I'm like, I want to focus on what I'm doing. So yeah, I really feel that, you know, when you say like there are eyes on you, like whether you think it or not, like always. But then how did you, you know, so you went traveling after that, and how did you become comfortable with, you know, the situation that you were in?
I don't know. It goes back to that whole sort of thing in a situation. I think it was that book that I sent you. It was like Robert Greene. Like when you come into presented with a situation or a challenge, you can either resist or yield. Yeah. And I just yield, just let go. Yeah. Like, I don't know. And I was just like, I'll work it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Life goes on. I took the pressure
100%.
off. I was like, fuck, it doesn't matter, man. I can do whatever.
So you stopped being who you were supposed to be, and you started being who you
started wanting to become who you wanted to be.
Yeah.
I started trying to find out who I wanted to be.
There you go.
Because I hadn't thought about it. You know, I thought of myself as a car salesman.
Yeah.
Or like all that stuff, and I was like, hang on, I'm not a car
That's
salesman.
such a hard thing to do, bro.
It was a trip.
And where we come from, like that's the mindset that everyone's in.
Is that
it's
you
like,
are. That's who you are. And just you stay there.
If you've been doing that, you know, in your early 20s and you've been doing it for 3-4 years or whatever, that's you. That's your career. You can't change. And it's like, you know, it's like, nah, like you still got plenty of time.
Bro, plenty of time, you know, and you feel that, like I was talking about that pressure before. Like, you know, when you're in your mid-20s sort of thing, you're expected to have certain things and be in a certain position.
Yeah, now that I've realized, I was like, that's the word. Like, that's so wrong. It's just so wrong.
Well, I guess there's two ways of looking at it, because back in the day, that's what it was. Like, so that's what everyone who's saying those things to us, that's the template they're going off. But not only has time changed, but everything around, the values, the time frames, the timelines of how you're meant to do things.
Well, the technology and the time as well has shown you different things to life.
People can have more longevity out of their careers, and there's so many more careers, you know, to get into, especially with the internet. Like, you know, people can sit at home till they're 75 years old and still make bank, you know? So it's like
100%.
There's no real right or wrong way. And especially like fucking dating in 2022 and shit like that. Like, man, that's a whole nother topic. But
100%.
You know, there shouldn't be that much pressure to settle down and, you know, and do that sort of stuff.
Nah, because you're going against the grain, man. You're going against the status
who you
quo.
and who you are. Like, 100%.
But that's why I guess it's like, I don't know, I view it as like it's the path less taken, you know, like far out. So, I mean, it's a bit of an adventure, but fucking it's worth it.
Well, that's it. And like that's where I find people make the wrong decision, is when they're doing things that other people say, like, hey, you should be doing this. So they just do it for the sake of doing it. And it's like, it doesn't feel right or it's not right. But
well, you naturally know as well, because those times where you've spent a lot of time alone, naturally it comes back to what you should be doing as well. And that's what I had during COVID and stuff like that. For this, I was just like, stripped everything back. I was like, what actually drives me? And then just wrote that shit down. Wrote it down, like all these different things. And I was just like, why have I been avoiding this for so long? And then it's just from there, you start to put a plan in place. So,
because a lot of people don't pursue it because it's so fucking hard. Oh my God.
But it's the most rewarding thing, right? And you know that. So,
well, in your case, like there was probably no real like career. Like, you know, you sort of got to make
got to mold it right into your own sort of.
You had so many different aspects that you were like, fuck, which one did I go? But then it's like, bro, just step back and make it all into one. You know, like. But anyway, 100%. Bro, so you went to South America.
Yeah, that was like straight after, because, you know, I wanted to do a runner after that. Yeah,
tell us a couple of highlights of that trip.
Oh man, that was
let's get spicy with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really get too spicy there. What happened? Far out. I don't know. So yeah, we flew into Santiago, into Chile, and that was when they were having the riots and everything over there.
Oh right, yeah.
And it was nuts, man. We flew in, and it was a literal war zone.
Yeah, I remember you texting us about that.
It was so hectic.
Like the videos and stuff, like. Right. That's just weird being in that situation of people like just throwing shit and stuff like that. Yeah. Other videos were just like,
well, we obviously, world. 100%. And we obviously knew it's not our fight. Like, we're trying to be respectful and not like, we didn't obviously break anything or do anything to add to like any sort of turmoil, but we definitely got in there to check it out and see what it was like. Because all the people that were protesting were like around our age. They were like in their 20s. They were like students and all that.
Yeah.
What was the culture shock like?
Man, not too bad, to be honest. Like, I don't know. You're clearly, when you go out there, like, I don't know, we dress different. We're like a gringo, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they spot you from a mile away. But I don't know. It's all about how you carry yourself, and we're sort of...
how open you are to everything.
Yeah, man. And, like, obviously, we didn't speak a lick of Spanish.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. So the language barrier is the main thing. But other than that, man, it's chill. We had no bad, in the whole of South America, not one bad encounter.
Most beautiful place you went to?
I liked Argentina.
Yeah?
I like Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful city ever, man. Like, I really love it. Like, everyone would probably say like Brazil and the beaches and all that stuff. But I don't know. We got nice beaches here.
Yeah.
Like, the beaches are sick, obviously.
Water and sand, though, isn't
it?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's something about the energy in Argentina. I just really, really loved that. Yeah. But yeah, we were gone for like, what was it? Shit, a long time. Like, it was like 7 months.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it was
like
actually. And then what? You had to come back because of COVID.
Yeah, well, that was we're in Cancun in Mexico. But before that, this is actually, looking on it now, this is when there was sort of a side mission like to that in that traveling, is I was just trying to find something to do when I got back. Like, I was trying to decide on...
Okay, so you're keeping your eyes open in terms of what they're doing overseas and stuff?
Yeah, and then I found it in Peru. In Peru, they do a lot of silversmithing there. They make a lot of jewellery. And I was staying there with Maddie, and we're walking. I actually bought her like a little ring. Yeah. And I looked at it and I was like, man, I'm going to do this when I get back. Yeah. I'm going to make jewellery.
Watching them like make it and do all that
and
sort of
it was
stuff.
sick. And they were like, I don't know. And after that point, I was quite relieved as well, because I had a mission for when I got back.
Is it the same techniques that they use, or are they like a real like sort of simple old school, you know?
Same, but like they're way more skilled. You know, like I've got modern tools. I've got like a micro motor that does the thing.
Yeah, they're doing it all by hand.
They do it all by hand, and they use they melt it down in the kilns with proper open fires and everything like that. They are way more skilled than I am. Yeah. But I don't know. I'll get there one day.
What was what was the growth? So obviously, you know, you said you had a side mission, but what I want to know is, like, I haven't been, you know, on a big travel, you know, OE type thing. So how does that grow you as a person? What's the change in your mindset, you know, and like just you as a person?
I don't know. I think it's I don't know. It's really subjective, eh? It's like to each their own. Like, I don't know. I'm sure I got different things out of it than what John or Mason,
someone else would have.
Yeah. I'm sure I got different things out of it. Like, I don't know. It sort of really made me appreciate home as well. Like, I was like, okay, everything out here is like,
as in
beautiful.
Goldie, or
Right, I don't. Yeah, as in the Gold Coast, as in where I am currently. That's probably it. Like, I was in awe constantly over there. Like, everything is like amazing and beautiful and huge, and it's a crazy world out there. There's heaps to see.
100%.
So it just got me stoked on life.
Was it crazy? Just go. Did you feel like you would just go when you were over there?
No, we were chilling, man. We had no plan. Like, we bought a car. We were sleeping in the back of the car. Like, we were spending fuck all money. We were eating rice and tuna, and like, we were doing it rough.
But that's cool though.
Yeah,
makes, like 100%. You said, it makes you appreciate that. Even though you've got bank, like you don't need it.
You just need food, water, and like
these people
around you
over there with not much, and they are the happiest people I've met. And that's something to learn too.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, because you just don't see it over here.
Nah.
You know, like you do. Like, you meet content people and you meet happy people, obviously, but not like that, man. They're like infectiously just happy.
Just that energy about them.
Yeah. So that was something I definitely got from the experience as well, to like just chill out and like, you don't need much.
100%.
You don't need much,
So then obviously, you know, you finished that up. Come back, and what does life look like for you now when you come back, all said and done?
I was just back into it. Like, again, I had a purpose.
So you moved in with Maddie, your partner?
Because we had to quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously we'd given up the flat in Broadbeach before I left.
Yeah.
And then, we quarantined for 2 weeks, stayed there for a little bit, and then went renting out in Currumbin Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so let me just touch on that, because that's like where you guys were as of only, couple of weeks ago. That was a big move to move all the way out there in the country. What sparked that?
Man, I don't know.
It's like it's so secluded. Like if you guys see where it is, there's like nothing around.
No, there's not much out there, you know. But that was probably the point. You know, like I was just, I don't know, me and her, we were sort of just craving, I don't know, just like a little bit of peace.
Yeah.
You know, like just get back out where it's I don't know, just
Is that because you felt it
thoughts.
overseas and stuff like that, or was it something like you were going to think about doing anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was probably sparked by that.
Yeah.
For sure. And we're like, hang on, like, let's go out and see what it's like to live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
A little bit. Even though we're only, 20 minutes from town. Like, it's hardly secluded.
Feels like it, though.
Oh, honestly, for someone like me, when I go out there,
Out
I'm
there.
like, oh, fuck, this is rural as shit.
Yeah, well, now that I'm back, I realize how much it was like that.
Yeah.
For sure. But that was good, man. A lot of growth happened out there.
Yeah.
Like, when you're just... obviously, I spent a lot of time by myself, like mostly every day, all day, and all that stuff. But I mean, that gives you a chance to sort of formulate your ideas and plan. And
So, what were your formulas and your plans and stuff when you spent so much time alone? Like, when you thought about making jewelry, is there an end goal? What did it look like for you, and what were sort of the processes that you had to obviously go about to putting these things in place?
yeah, well, I don't know. Obviously, I had to pick up some skills because I'd never bloody made jewellery before. Like,
You do have a creative mind, though. Like, you're good at art. You're good at, like...
Oh, man, not really. When I was growing up, I used to draw dragons and fucking tigers and shit.
Well, it was funny, bro,
Napoleon
because
Dynamite.
remember when you did
got
for your
those
job at
paintings.
Porsche, and the first thing you went to was starting to drawing, and then you went to like stick and poke and stuff like that. So you
that
naturally
was funny.
drew,
that
found
was
yourself going to something creative like that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we're talking, like, sort of what I was talking about. I think with you guys, like, I was on Christmas and that, and I was talking like about that whole inherent nature that we're born with and all that sort of
conversation.
Yeah, and I don't know, when you sit down by yourself and you really just go dig deep, like, who are you?
You don't have to go too far to find it,
No.
way, because it naturally just comes up.
Yeah, true. If you're listening.
Yeah, that's the thing. The first thing you got to start is obviously start to listen. So
yeah, and then from that I was just like, okay, I got to get some skills. Went to goldsmith school up in Barden in Brisbane.
Yeah,
and that was just like 3 days a week. 2 days a week.
Yeah,
back and forth. Did that for like 8 months, and then packed that in, and then just went off on my own. Yeah. So
That was like a real cool time for all of us. So like for you guys,
so
who
much
don't know,
change.
Like, so we all lived, in a house in Broadbeach. There was like at one point there was like 6 or 8 of us.
like 8, man.
Yeah. And then so once I think you guys were the first to leave. You and Maddie, and then Leon and Gabs left as well. So we all went. What was cool about that is we all went our separate paths.
Yeah.
And because I remember seeing Leon after I'd seen him, but like we hadn't fully caught up for like 10 months or something like that. And when we all came back, like we were all such different people. It's crazy, man. Like we all just
in such a short amount of time, which is
nuts.
For me, it seemed really scary that you can change that much.
Especially
that
someone like
quickly too.
Leon, like he fully and he obviously lives
even
out there without you, like, you know,
even yourself and stuff like that. Like you came back, but I didn't realize that you're going to go into like jewelry and stuff like that. And like it's almost we didn't hear from you for like 6 months or something like that. And then you see there's like, I've been up to this, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like where did this all come from?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I like, bro. I love seeing that sort of stuff. Like,
let your success be the noise, hey?
Yeah, well, that sort of stuff, man. Yeah. But like, I'm far from a success yet. Like, fuck, man, I'm like,
well, you're
not even a
successful because
twinkle
you're
in
doing
an
what you
eye.
love, bro.
Yeah.
You're doing what you love.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I've got big aspirations for the business and that sort of thing. But I've just got to let it happen.
So talk to us. Where do you see? I mean, ideally, I asked Ethan this on THATFIT the other day, but where do you see your business in 3
interesting.
years? What does it look like to you, ideally?
What does Josh Bragg Jewellery look like?
3 years. I don't know. Even cutting it down to this year, I want to just focus on getting my own studio.
Yeah.
Like get my own space.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm currently working
key.
out of like a spare bedroom. Like,
Hey,
and it's just
gotta start somewhere, babe.
Oh, it's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm super thankful to have the space.
Oh, 100%.
But in saying that, it would be good to get my own space, get my own studio, put my own sort of spin on it.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be good to sort of split it up from home, and that sort of thing. But 3 years time,
So like, what do you like? Want to be in shops? Like,
Yeah.
you know, do you want to be like a regular sort of
I
household
want to
name?
be. I definitely do. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I do want to get it, and no, I think there's nothing wrong with like verbal. A lot of people like, that don't
Yeah.
verbalize their goals.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's
but
the way
fuck
forward.
that, man.
That's
Fuck
the
that.
way forward.
I do want to be up there with some luxury brands.
100%.
I feel like this
You
is the
got that-
moment. We just had a moment
Yeah.
right there because he said it, and you watch. People are going to come back to this in 3 years,
100%.
and you're going to be doing it, bro.
When you asked me that, like, for the 3 years, I was just like, I was so clear on exactly what
You've got
it's
to
going to look
visualize
like.
it, bro.
That you can see it, and the thing is, like, you don't know how it's going to happen because that time hasn't happened yet. But you know that with the substance of whatever it is, you know that you can get to that. Like, we'll let everything else happen for you, but if you can see the vision, it's just like, it's going to take care of itself.
Yeah.
You don't know how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's like success, right? It's like, you don't know that anything's going to be successful, but the more you do it, the chance of success becomes more apparent.
100%. And like, if you're putting in, man, I'm literally doing
You're putting
that
in the
shit
hours
all
too,
day,
bro. Like, you're
so-
literally, you're like Willy Wonka. You don't know where you are. You're just in your fucking, like gingerbread man in his house fucking making jewelry.
Well, that's one of the most important things I learned last year. Is like, you know, don't focus too much on how you're going to get there. Just know that, you know, like at the end of it, there is a goal that you want to achieve, and just like you said, when you just let go, you know, and you just float, and you know the universe will take care of the rest. As long as you've got the affirmation, you know, you're speaking it, believing it, receiving it, like
100%.
Well, you can see it now. You're putting out the pieces. The people are buying it. Like,
That's it.
It's
I
only
know.
something that
That's
needs to be
fucking-
multiplied.
That's insane. Like, that is a fucking
You never thought that
insane-
would ever happen because
Right.
you just don't know, right?
No way. Like, you could literally, like, because I've never done anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, and to go straight into like being a sustainable
yes,
thing that you can live off
Yeah.
is, I mean, I'm fucking super
Who would've
proud
thought?
of that. Nah, it's ridiculous. I'm super thankful to everyone that supported me.
Well, we're super proud of you, bro, because like
Thanks.
obviously we've seen it all come through. So you know, it's one of those things where it sort of G's us up because we're like, man, we can
100%.
see all the boys like you know doing their own thing, all like you know going down their own paths. But like a few questions, right? So speaking of the boys, so what I wanted to ask, or you know, we were talking about it was obviously, you know, so you're in a long-term committed relationship, you know, with a beautiful Maddie. What was that like transitioning from like, I guess, you know, like partying with the boys all the time, you know, being one of the guys and then like sort of,
'Cause you're
I
still
feel
in
like,
that-
yeah, well, I feel like a lot of people around our age now are sort of going to be going through that.
It's a very awkward phase, like,
Exactly.
at the moment.
You know, you sort of don't know like how to say like, nah, bro, sorry, I can't come. Like, you know, like,
I
like
know,
how to explain that to us. What was that like? I guess transitioning into that life because I know it was probably a little bit harder for you as well. Like, you know,
Especially being around the boys, especially at the boarding house. Like,
exactly because that was a party house. All we did was like, you know, every fucking weekend we were
Yeah.
out there getting nuts. Like,
Yeah, you guys are still doing it. But no, I don't know, man. It wasn't that. I wouldn't say it was that hard for me. Like,
just
I've
didn't
always
think
been
about
in a
it.
relationship, like
Yeah.
legit, since I was like 17.
Yeah.
Like, right the way through,
yeah, okay.
almost.
Yeah.
So
Right.
when
So
the
it's
bro
like, it
gets
was
out,
pretty
he goes,
easy.
he goes out.
Oh yeah, there was not much. Yeah, there was not much time, man. There was
Yeah.
only like 3 months before I met Maddie.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, it was all go within that time, and then
Yeah.
it was just back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not normal. Like I shouldn't say that. It sounds bad, but like it was
Yeah.
just, It was
But
just
what
same
does
right.
life look like for you now? Like, you're obviously happy, you're content.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. Things are going good. I'm stoked.
Yeah. Keeps you
I don't know.
grounded.
Oh man, 100%.
Yeah,
I don't know.
'cause
It's
what
just
is
good
your-
to feel
'cause it
unconditional
seems-
love, man.
I feel like you've never had time to yourself. You've always gone into relationship after relationship. Like, because for me, like, if I had a relationship and I was like, nah, fuck that, I'm not in a relationship for thing. Like, what's your mindsets on relationship? Because you kind of went quickly between each one.
Yeah, I know. It was, I don't know.
He's like, fuck, I don't know what to say right now.
Nah, man.
Did you ever think of like relationships as like, for me to be in a good relationship, I need to make sure I take care of myself and I'm in a good place? Because you seem like you never went through that phase. You're just like, these sort of things kept on lining up.
He grew with with Maddie. Like, you guys both, because
You're telling me this story.
Well, honestly, I came in and like, I saw like, you guys were like, you were together, but you were sort of like real chalk and cheese at the start. And then like, it was so amazing to see you guys come back.
Like when we were playing charades.
Oh,
like, read her mind, legit.
honestly, like the stuff that we were... So on Christmas Day, guys, we were playing charades, and it was the weirdest charades. It was like a man has a tea party with a frog.
Yeah.
And you got to like try to like...
act out an anxious ant.
Yeah, or some shit like that. And then him and Maddie were just like... She would just like literally look one way or some shit. And the bro would be like, yeah, left. Like, or some shit. Like,
honestly, man, it's
crazy.
like...
Is that how it is?
Yeah.
Because how long have you been with her now?
Like nearly 3 years.
Okay.
Bro, it's
3
just
years,
like,
imagine.
it's proper connection.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not, like
Yeah.
that person reads your mind,
Yeah.
and I can read hers within an extent.
That's
Like,
amazing.
it
I love
literally, I remember this experience we had in Cancun.
I was going to ask you about, like, has there been certain moments where it's just like,
Yes.
this is exactly...
Bro, 100%. And that, like I was saying, we went to this like house party in Cancun.
Yeah.
And this guy had this little pink vial around his neck.
Yeah.
And it was like, he's like, do you want to try some of this? And it was called 2CB.
Yeah.
Which is like a really, really powerful psychedelic.
Yeah.
And we did like a tiny little slug, like this much. That's all you needed. And I remember literally, I can still remember the whole thing, me and Maddie having a telepathic conversation.
oh my God.
Really?
That's
We were
crazy.
just looking at each other going like this. And you're
And
like...
you weren't even talking?
No words.
Wow.
Like, it sounds like a trip, but
Where do
it's
I get
so
some
good.
of that?
I don't think you can get it here.
That's
It's big
crazy.
in South America.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I don't want to say ever since that. But I think it's just obviously time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
leaving the psychedelics out of it. But I think that sort of, I don't know, that helped.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it's just good that you sort of, you feel like you're on the right path. And like, as I said, you guys have grown and been through so much together that, like, with Ethan, with what he was saying, it's like, where we're at, it's like, you feel like we want to be good first. Because, like, I mean, personally, like, I don't feel like,
Well, there's two ways to go about it, right? Is that maybe for you, it's just like, you're going to find the one, so just keep looking, like, in terms of going in relationships, like, being in a relationship, there's going to be the one. For us, I think we're like, I'm going to make sure I'm super straight before I get anything.
Well,
and
with
that
us-
one, you'll know, it's like, nah, this is it.
Yeah.
I've got to lock down
well,
on
we
this one.
fall hard. I'm pretty like, I know I do. Like,
I'm certified lover boy. I was actually looking up my star sign, a Virgo, and it's
100%.
you're a lover boy.
Exactly, and it's like that's the thing. So it's like, we're like when you think about that shit, it's like, man, if I go deep in this, like, I'm gonna fall and like I'm like, it's gonna fuck me if this doesn't work.
My knees will be broken.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think there's definitely two ways to do it.
Yeah.
Like that, like just try perfect. Like there's no fucking perfect.
Nah.
Like you're never going to be ready.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we need to learn in 2022.
Nah.
Like, it's a
You're
funny-
never going to be
yeah,
perfect and neither
100%.
are they.
Yeah.
And that's like just two individuals coming together, imperfections and all.
It's always gonna be, hey.
Yeah, like you just allow it. She allows mine. I allow hers.
Some advice to get through those real hard times.
Yeah, because obviously there's been some hard times, and obviously around when you're a little bit of jibber jabber with each other and stuff like that. So, what are some things that you sort of?
Yeah.
But again,
How do you guys get over those arguments? Like, what was your sort?
well, I don't know. I just sort of realized I can't change.
What
her.
was the difference between arguing when you first got together and arguing like now? Because obviously arguments are still going to happen. So, what was having those arguments back then? Because I think it's a lot different for your mindset when you had arguments back then to now.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's I don't know. I think it probably stems from that whole thing of like, at the start you sort of trying to change each other,
Yeah,
and then once you get to a certain point, you just acknowledge that you can't change each other.
yeah,
And then from that point, you're like, just let it be.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna go off on a tangent and start like going all crazy, like I'll kind of just like
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
it.
Maybe she's just trying to get something off her chest, and it's just like you just have to be there to listen and try and understand.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just actually wanting to listen and understand.
I think that's the difference
there.
when you first start.
Like,
you don't want to listen, you're like, no, fuck that. And now it's just like, okay.
Bro was literally like,
It's funny.
he'd be like, hey, Josh, can we talk? Nah, fuck you.
Nah, I'm not happy about the way I used to.
We got to grow though, bro. Like you got to go through that to get to where you are now. Like that's the thing with all of us. Like even I think like now we both are probably ready. You know what I mean? But because we understand these concepts and we know how to treat people. Like it's a big focus for E and I. Like to treat people, you know, like with the utmost respect and look after people.
It's always been like that. It's just a different intention now, I think. And where it used to be like, for me, I was just like, fuck, I hope you like me. But now it's just like, whether you like me or not, I'm going to tell you how I am. Yeah. Whereas I used to like sweeten it up too much to be like, fuck, I hope this person likes me so I can feel good. It's just like, no matter what I say now, I feel good at what I say because it's what I believe in, whether you like that or not, whether you like my vibe. I'm like, it's sweet.
And maybe that's where, you know, we were different. You know, it's like you were already comfortable with who you were as a person. Like, see, for me, like, I feel like I've only just come into that over the last couple of years. Like, being comfortable with who I am as a person and, like, being able to be like, well, I don't need to sweeten it up because who I am is sweet enough. Yeah. You know,
I'm still working it out as well. Yeah. Like, I've still got no idea, man. I'm still like, I literally feel like I said this before.
Scratching
like
the surface,
baby, man,
yeah.
Like literally every day.
And that's the funniest thing, bro, is like when you get to that space, it's like, how did I not know this before? But then at the same time, you're so grateful. It's like, man, I have so much learning to do. So every day in life now is just like you're so invigorated of who people are and how better you can come that day. So it's fucking weird.
Yeah. Talk to us about your routine. What's your normal routine like when you wake up?
Oh shit, man.
It's like in the life of a jeweler.
Oh man. I don't know, my life right now.
What time do you wake up?
Oh man, not early, like I don't know, like 6:30.
That's all good.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's that same thing I was talking about before. I've just sort of, and this is one thing that Maddie's helped me to do as well, is just sort of relax into it. And like just sort of, she's big into like the intuitive and intuition and that sort of thing.
She's
Do what your body's telling you.
She's been on the podcast too. If you want to go see that one, go check it out.
And it was a concept I was never really familiar with, you know.
Nah, we weren't, man.
What we used to be like.
We weren't.
Like, it was really strict.
Yeah.
But I've just sort of let it chill out. So I just, like, I don't know, get up, move the body.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like, have, like, 2 coffees.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. It's just kind of balance, man. I'm not going to preach that I'm, like, overly fucking healthy or
That's
anything.
the thing. The hardest thing in life is balance. And if that's balance for you right now, then that's sweet. If it changes, that's sweet too. But as long as you feel like you have balance.
Well, that was one thing. I remember I said to you, like, that's one thing that I'm focusing on for this year. It's like, you know, just relaxing. And that's why, like,
but
you know.
The thing is, for you, people look at you like you're spending so much time on joy. It's just like, have a break. But when you're so obsessed with the process, like that's balance. Like no matter, for other people, it looks like, oh, you're just fucking in there like all day doing that. But if you're so obsessed, like, you don't have to worry about balance because that brings you like that satisfaction, but you know that you still at some point you take a break, but that break only inspires you to go back and do the work 100%. Even better.
Yeah, and like, you know, that feeling, like it's sort of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of like you get into sort of like a trance. You don't realize how at time's passing, but like you're so present and you're so focused. It's like sort of that feeling like when you're a little kid and you're playing and your mum calls you for dinner.
Yeah.
You know? And you're like, how has it been 5
hours?
hours?
100%. Yeah. You've been out there for that long.
Bro, and then Maddie will do that to me. She's like, you've been in there for 6 hours or
That's
whatever.
That's like a real interesting thing because I found that sometimes, even though it's your passion, it still can be an unhealthy sort of like lifestyle to indulge too much into that. You've got to come out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's what I feel like I've been doing the last few years. You know, and now I'm like learning to just go. Yeah. Nah, you have to take a day off. You have to go home when 5:30 hits. You have to do this.
So I've always come from that balance. So now I understand it. Yeah. But that's so weird. Like for you, like come out of. I'm like, come out of what?
Yeah, like, that's because I love what I do. Yeah, but it's like sometimes
You
you
do.
actually got to be like, well, just because you love it, you're still working.
matter.
You're still, your brain's still going.
Yeah,
your
you still have to
emotions,
work.
you know, you're still running all your senses on high all the time. So you need to like just sit there for 4 hours and watch a movie or something.
Well,
Like, you
even
know?
if you still like, if you think about it, if you're still thinking about productivity, the best thing that you can do sometimes in terms of productivity
actually-
is step back,
Yeah.
like stop doing what you're doing, go
Yeah.
take a break.
And sometimes the best ideas come from, like, how many times have you heard that story of people going like, oh, hey, like, you know, I was down and out and then like, I just went for a walk or something and then
Yeah.
I saw that.
That's exactly it, man.
You know, like you've got to get out of that sort of, so that's good that, you know, you've got someone like Maddie around as well and you're realizing it too. Like I'm going through that, you know, as I said, 2022, I want to get time back, you know, and get time back to do more things that I love and do more things. Branch out, you know, like branch out.
I reckon, man.
What-
Fuck, it's unlimited what you can do.
Exactly.
I
Like
reckon.
people, there's this notion in society that it's like, oh, well, I've got my career and I've got like, I play golf. So it's
Is
like,
that it?
is that it? You know what I mean?
Work
Like,
in a hobby, work in a hobby.
yeah. So it's like, you know, why can't you dabble into everything?
Everything.
You know?
Well, why can't your what you do, like I literally do what I like, it's like playing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
literally like I literally
You are that kid that's playing, right?
playing,
you know,
but you're
outside.
working.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
playing, but you're
Yeah.
working, and it's
But it doesn't feel like work. Yeah.
Nah, so you're getting paid to work
Yeah.
to play.
I think that's what a lot of people are scared of these days. It's because they've come into this career, they've been there for 6 years or 7 years or whatever, but then they're like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't have the passion for it, but fuck, like it's such a big risk and it's such a big job to
What
go
risk
into.
though? Like what
Well-
risk not being fulfilled and happy? Like that's the biggest risk.
Well, they
not
can't
being.
see that because it's like, you know, like it's a career change for a lot of people, you know, especially like someone who's like, let's say 32, they're like, oh,
You're only just getting started.
yeah, it's like, fuck, like I need to, well, we've got that mindset, but other people are like, well, nah, like I'm 32 now, I gotta settle down and I can't change my career. So it's
I
like,
think that's one thing. The one thing we need to like get clear on this like podcast. Like, man, as far as I'm concerned, like if you're alive at the same time as me on this planet, you're
100%,
young.
Yeah.
Like you're young.
100%.
Like
clear
you're like
that
a-
up.
Clip
Get familiar with that.
Someone clip that.
God,
Say that
copyright
again.
that shit.
Say
Nah,
that again.
honestly, like if I see you out, like say it's like an old man and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I look at them like
Just
they're
as- yeah.
man, we're babies. We're not even a twinkle of an eye in like the grand scale of things.
We've all
like,
got the
ditch
same
that
opportunities too.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And you sort of lose that whole perception of like that you're. Oh, I'm getting older. I need to be here.
Shut
and
up.
yada.
That's society pressure, bro.
Yeah. all
Well,
that
that's it.
sort
Like,
of-
because that's the
sort of
thing.
shit.
It's like, who said that? You know, when you're say 35 or 40, that you're old now. Like, you know, like,
Like it's
Who said
that's just
that?
chronological age.
yeah.
That's
But like
not
a lot
biology
of-
age.
Like a man,
Chronolo-
I personally think a man enters his prime age at 35.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting. Oh, it depends. It depends
Like,
their
you've
life
been through all
experiences
your
and shit.
Yeah, you've
What,
been through all your
physically, you mean?
20s. No, well, not maybe not physically, but like in your mind, like you're so equipped at.
Bro, I
don't
reckon
I don't
we're at
believe
our-
that.
I reckon we're at our prime at like fucking 8.
Yeah,
Unaffected,
bro.
man. Yeah.
But imagine this.
Literally.
Say Justin Bieber, right? His prime's going to be a different age than us because he got put it on so early.
yeah,
so
fair
he
enough.
has to grow a little bit
Yeah.
early. So I don't think the prime is
Nah.
exactly same age. It's how you have to grow as a
Yeah.
person.
See, I think in a normal, like in society, I guess in a normal,
Yeah.
because most people, most guys say,
But
for
who's
instance, will
who's
go-
saying that again? Like who's saying that?
Well, if you look at it, like most guys will spend their 20s fucking around.
Yeah,
You know, and then
100%.
for like, you know, from like
Oh, fuck, I better do
29,
something.
28, 29, they'll go through like 5 years to like 35 of like real hard work. And now they know what like, you know, all aspects of life, I guess. And there's not much after 35 in a normal life that will
And that's the thing.
surprise
If you haven't been taking care of your health at 35, you're feeling 45, right? And if you've been
100%.
taking care of your health now to 35, you're feeling 25.
Exactly. And your mind. It's like, you know, like you said, it's like, it's all about, you know, how young you feel. Like, so
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, I'm back in school right now because I'm just watching all these like videos about history and learning about the human body and like evolution and shit like that. So I'm like, fuck, like I want to learn and I still want to expand. But a lot of people, you know, are just like, oh, well, I need to focus on my career now.
Yeah.
Bro, focus on your relationships. Focus on your health, your happiness.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
Have you heard of that fit? Because that's what this is about.
Come talk to us. Get engaged with us. Connect with us. If you've got any comments and you're liking this podcast, put them in below. If you've got any questions for future, let us know. But We did a podcast, top 5 songs of all time, and Josh reckoned he was going to come in with the top 5, and he's been struggling.
As soon as we put it on,
he's been struggling.
He's commented on it.
Mr. Change-Ups.
Yeah, it's
How
so
many
hard.
times?
I literally found one of these songs 2 days ago. I was like, that's top 5 of all time. Like,
So I think we're going to go top 5 at the moment.
Top 5 of last week.
Yeah, so we're going to play them
stresses
for you
me
right
out.
now. We're supposed to do it at the start of the podcast, but we got deep into that conversation early. So I think it's the best way to finish podcast. Get a little vibe, catch a little vibe, have a couple of sips. You know what I mean? So the first one is Sweet Baby by Stanley Clark and George Duke.
You'll like this one. You go play the start. Play the start.
Start again.
Right at the start.
Come on, DJ.
DJ Half Song.
Doesn't this sound like you're just cruising on a magic carpet with your true love?
Which one? Nah.
When I think about your loving,
This is sick.
Yo.
Exactly.
I can just picture
My boy's
myself.
in love, though, right?
I can just
My
picture
boy's
myself.
in love.
I can picture myself, shorty coming over, got a little red wine waiting for her. We just have a little foxtrot in the lounge.
Yeah, this is just good music, man. This is true.
Crazy. So that's number 1.
Man,
So many
I
people are
like
going to be
that.
like, "What's that?"
I'm
But
gonna
that's
hit that.
groovy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll put all the songs in the bio.
Yeah, for sure. The second one is quite new. Big Kanye fan. What do you like about Kanye? Tell me a little bit, like because obviously
Because I'm not a
creatively-
Kanye fan, so
Yeah.
someone needs to
True.
convince him. Say he's not a Kanye
I love
fan.
it. I love old Kanye.
because
Yeah,
I'm
old
with you.
Kanye's
I'm
good.
with
Really
you. Like
fuck
I
with
reckon
Big
he's one
Kanye.
of the greatest.
Old
Obviously,
Kanye-
for sure.
We were
I don't
talking
know,
about
like-
this morning. He's apparently like number 5 or 4 on like the most hated people in the world.
Yeah, I
But it
think
makes-
most
it makes sense.
understood. He's misunderstood.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
That same. He's misunderstood, man. Like
Like he had a
he's
mental
crazy.
illness, man, when he was going through all that shit.
What
But
was
I
it?
just like he had like bipolar and shit.
Okay.
Like I just like the trajectory he's on. Obviously, he's
Yeah.
gone that whole like
What is it that you like about his old stuff that's so good?
I don't know. I've only just started getting back into his
Yeah.
old stuff. I like the new Kanye.
See,
Yeah.
Like,
see,
everyone's
for
gone,
me,
like,
the
I like
old
the old.
Kanye, the old Kanye set the fucking bar. Him and 50 set the bar for rap back in the day. Like, and like the words, the shit that he was coming with. Like, I like new Kanye, don't get me wrong, but like some of his notions are so fucking sporadic.
Yeah,
But that's
like,
what makes him so
like,
great.
man,
That's
that's
what
what I
makes him
like.
so
He's a
great.
true artist,
Yeah,
man,
he's
for
true.
sure.
That's artist, bro.
But there's a way, like-
artistry comes from just the moment. It's not
Yeah.
a
There's a
combination.
little
I
bit
think
made
it's
from the
his
moment.
delivery that I don't like. Just doesn't really sit well with me sometimes. Like I've seen him on Sway, and he's like, "You don't have the answer, Sway.
Yeah.
You don't."
That's why I like
And he
him.
probably
That's
does
why I
it, man.
like him.
Like-
Nah, he's because he's fucking honest, man.
Yeah.
I like him.
Honesty,
and
yeah.
I think I don't know. I like Donda. I like the whole
Yeah.
gospel sort of
Yeah.
sound. Like I think that's
It's a
sick.
story, man.
Yeah.
I like stories.
He's the miracles
Yeah.
on me.
And I like the visuals he's doing. Like I just like
Yeah.
everything about it. Like I
100%.
reckon it's sick.
Yeah, he's hanging out with my
That
girl.
concert, that one, that like how the stadium idea, I fuck with that. I love
Yeah.
that.
How sick
to
is that?
to stay in the
Exactly.
stadium and then to get Drake and do that show, man, goat shit.
They realize that. So this is "Lord, I Need You" by Kanye.
On a building, time when silence a luxury. Cussing at your baby mama, guess that's why they call it custody. God got us, baby, God got the children. The devil run the playground, but God on the building. Time and space is a luxury. But you came here to show that you still in love with me. Starting to feel like you ain't been happy for me lately, darling. Remember when you used to come around and serenade me? Oh.
So that's "Lord, I Need You" by Kanye West.
Vibes.
And Josh was just saying these last ones are weird ones.
Kind of weird, but like
Yeah.
it's just what I'm listening to at the moment. I'm just bopping around town, man. I'm
100.
just doing my thing. So
Sure. So this is Caribbean Queen. Oh, Caribbean Queen by
Caribbean
Billy
Queen.
Ocean.
Queen.
Caribbean Queen, baby.
I think
Yeah,
everyone's
it's
vibing though.
Billy
Everyone knows this
Ocean.
one.
I like this song. Now this is cruising down the street,
Yeah, with the
top
AirPods.
down.
Awesome.
Let's do it. This is Josh doing that jewelry.
Yeah, literally.
I like that. I vibe with that.
That's like
for
the
sure.
OG. I'm not even gonna say him.
OG what?
I was like, OG Chris Brown.
They're totally
Chasing
different,
after
aren't
some
they?
girl. Oh, stop it, man. You know you love him, Josh.
And then this one is called Newborn Awakening. This is new to me by Jim Morrison
Jim
and the
Morrison.
Doors.
Yeah, look into this guy.
Yeah, this is cool shit.
Ooh, this is different.
Hey, wait.
Michael, hey.
11-11.
Universe, baby. That's groovy. That riff on that guitar.
Yeah, definitely. If you
crazy.
haven't heard of Jim Morrison, look him up.
Check him
He
out.
does
Sick.
some crazy like spoken word.
What is he? 70s or something?
Yeah, I think so. And he's crazy. He's in the 27 club. I think he died
yeah.
at 27.
Very,
Yeah.
very
Really.
mature listening.
Crazy.
Very
Yeah.
mature. I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
or-
This is quite a new one. This is something I'd listen to.
I forgot what was on here.
If I was
When would
lying
you
on the
listen to
couch, baby goes,
Oh.
lying on my stomach,
this? Oh,
and she can hear my heartbeat.
what's she doing?
Him.
I bet she can hear your heartbeat, boy.
Well, she's not cooking me dinner, so you better get off me.
Your Uber's out. Oh, yo.
Yeah, have to have
Sure.
Daniel Caesar. So good.
Yeah, man. Banger. This is a trip.
Through drought and famine, natural disasters, my baby has been around the me. Kingdoms have fallen.
Banger.
Wow, that's actually a tune as well. So, right, man, what a another crazy episode. I feel like these episodes actually get better and better. Well, they're just
100%.
all so good. So, I hope
Definitely.
you guys enjoyed.
Before-
Let us know down below if you did enjoy it. Tell us what you liked about it. What was your favorite part? But yeah,
Before we go, Josh, the old
Most important
ending
question.
question. What does rich mean to you?
Oh man, I actually had some warning for this question too, and I still haven't prepared anything. Like fuck.
All right, the
Rich.
next guest that comes on has got to be way more prepared than this guy.
Rich.
right now, what are you thinking?
Definitely not what I used to think it was.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point of me asking that question. It's like, I like to see what people think now, and then obviously, if you come back on for a part 2, which I'm sure you will, we'll be able to hopefully dabble in it again and see what it looks like for you down the road.
Rich, I don't know. I think it's always going to remain the same for me, man. I think it's, I don't know. I think it's like peace of mind. It's like I'm trying to overcome that whole desire.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to, I don't know, man. I'm just doing the dance. I'm not sure.
So just being able to go to sleep at night.
At peace.
Yeah, or even just have a few moments of peace throughout the day would be
Yeah.
nice.
But I've always thought about that too. It's just like sometimes it's not even about, because you can't just be peaceful for a whole day, but at just some point just be like, this is exactly how it's supposed to be.
Just
man.
being content with the peace and the order and the chaos
Yeah.
or whatever's going on. Like I don't know, just maybe to me, I don't know, being rich would be just content. I don't know, present.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in the flow of things.
Let's go. That's how we do it. Well, thank you for coming in, bro. It's actually been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for
going
having me.
down
Thank you.
memory lane a little bit.
Yeah, it's
No,
always
it's
great
good,
to reflect and stuff like that. So, wow, thank you so much, bro. Hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, let us know what you think. Leave comments down below. Engage with us. We want to obviously engage as much as we can. Obviously, subscribe to the channel. We really want to grow the channel out. If you're on Spotify, leave us a review. Whether you thought it was 5 stars, let us know if you thought it was 1 star.
Fuck that.
Don't ever do that.
Don't
again.
ever listen.
Don't ever do that again. But as always, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Man, the journey's only just getting started. We're so early in the journey. So grateful. But you guys know what to do. As always, stay fit, stay motherfucking vibey. Let's
Hey,
go.
baby!
Thanks. Like that was
Cheers.
Oh, nah. Who's